Okay, everyone, welcome to the Dear Last Born podcast series. Before this time, we had the Dear Firstborn series. It was quite an interesting time. I had a fantastic time learning from three ladies. I got messages from people saying, "Kalubi, why is it that you only have ladies on your podcast sets?" And I thought it was wise for me to introduce a male on this particular episode who I believe has so much to say on this side of the divide. We have the firstborn series, and now it's time to talk about lastborns. And I am aware that lastborns go through a lot themselves, and it's just only good that we hear their own side of the story. My name is Oluwa Kalubi Or, and as you can tell already, in the studio is a man who has many sides. And I guess the first side that has to be spoken about is that he is an anomalous of Unilag. So if you're a Unilag person here, well, I have your guy in the studio is a Utopian, meaning somebody who believes in the perfectibility of the society, is a project manager, a creative entrepreneur, and also the founder of Epiphany League. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Well,
Amoo Daniels to the studio. Welcome.
thank you so much, Oluwa. Wow, that's a lot of homework, right?
I
How do you get all this information?
tell you,
Thank you.
I did my own findings. I did my findings. Yeah. So I'm going to have you at the center of the entire conversation. I will project your face some more because this will be the first of this series we'll have having a video recording. So tell me,
Wow.
how many of you did your father and mother give birth to?
Okay, so okay, let me start with this. Of course, it's my culture to do. I want to say a very big thank you for having me here, and also I want to appreciate you. I want to sincerely appreciate your work. I mean, I've seen you speak. I've seen you do your things. I'm very much impressed. I love what you do. I love your work. All right, so thank you for having me. All right, so of course, I'm the last born of the family of six. My father, my mother, and we have four. All right.
Six.
Yes,
Six is
yes.
a lot.
No, I mean, including my parents. So we are just
Okay.
four.
Okay.
Yeah, last one of
Okay,
six
okay, okay. Because
with my parents. So we are four. Two male, two female. I'm the last born, of course. Yes.
oh, okay, okay. So you have four. So two males, two females. So the first one was the male.
The first one is a female.
A female.
Female.
And then let me guess. Then the next after that, a female again.
The next one is the male. Then come a
Okay.
female after.
The
It's a
third.
balance actually. So it's a balance.
Uh,
Yeah.
I like the equation. Some people have it different. You have two
I know,
males, you
right?
have two girls. But you guys have a lady first, and then a guy, and then a lady, and then a guy. So tell me about growing up for you. How was it like for you being the last one in the family?
All right. So growing up was quite unconventional, right? So because I mean it's a lot, and at the same time it was quite a journey, right? Then so let me address this. Everything I'm going to say here right now, I would like the audience to perceive me not as an activist, right? Because I'm not actually I'm not campaigning, right? I'm just pleading. I'm actually like an advocate of last bonds, right? So I think it's gonna tailor us into this and all of that. Yes, because yeah, I'm not an activist into this, right? Basically, so I'm just really just an advocate. So yes, I mean yes. So growing up for me actually is so fascinating, right? Because I was born into a family where where um commitment, where integrity, where trust is actually the foundation and the mandate, right? And
Hmm.
I mean, I remember one of the beautiful things that happened to me when I was very small. I think the first I can remember. I mean, my mom told me that I'm that last child with many. distinctive traits, right? So my mom told me
mm,
herself that when I was small, when I was very small, and when I was still a kid, she will, back me to the market. At some point, she was, into petty business and all of
mm.
that. So back me to the market. And there was a time, I think, in the raining days, she fell, and everyone was just like looking out for her and all of that. And what I said to her was, please don't fall me down. Whatever you are doing, whatever, all of those things, I don't care. Please just don't fall me down. I'm at your back, right? And I was like, I did that. I told you that. So, and it's quite been so fascinating, right? So, you know, to my primary school days, I've always enjoyed many things from my parents. I lost my dad to stroke, and I lost my mom to chronic ulcer, right? So I'm typically an orphan right now. But then yeah, it's this what it is. It is what it is. I know you didn't see that coming, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, so I enjoyed. I mean, when they were still here on Earth, I enjoyed that parental care. Not simply because I'm the last born. I saw it in everyone's life. I saw it even my firstborn when she was still with me, because at some point she had to leave us. So she married and all of that. She left and all of that. So, but while we were still together with my parents, while they were here, we, the joy. I mean, I came out from an average background, right? So it's not like we have it all figured out, but the joy, the love, the unity was so beautiful, was so harmonious that we actually, opened up to ourselves. My sister, at some point, she, I think she got a scholarship to study because she's into medicine and all of that. She got a scholarship and all of that. And I remember when she shared the story, it was everyone was just like bragging, yes, that my sister, kind of thing. So we were loved, we were loved. And I when my so my when my father passed, things change. Of course, things change. My mom had to bear the consequence and all of that. I mean, it was everything changed, the drastic change and all of that. And I discovered something at that point in time. I noticed that if I had to be who I want to be, I have to know some generational trends. What do I mean? I want to know what are the do's and don'ts of this family, because I believe myself to be that stubborn guy. I'm not the black sheep of my family, but basically, at some point, a lot of things happened, right? But then, so when my dad passed, I locked up with my mom. I mean, I became my best friend, so much that she called me by my name and had or call me like my husband. You know, she will say Daniel Okomi. Like it was so glaring. Everyone could see that this guy is doing something that's making this mother love him so much. They didn't get it. But you know what I did?
What did you do?
After this system, when you're in school, you finish school, you're done with school, I mean secondary school, before you get admission to tertiary institution, you want to be a teacher, you know, teacher and all of that. So I was a teacher, and I was teaching a particular class, and I was any much than a young guy starting a 9 to 5, like starting a career. Because I was at some point I was following school bus. I was following school bus. I was doing home lessons, and I was also a teacher. You understand? So I get many funds at the end of the month. I get many funds and all of that. So I take my own salary, my own salary to myself. But you see the other incentives, the school bus fee, the home lessons fee, I give it all to my mom. My other siblings were like, they don't even know, right? Because I don't tell them. I don't know how I hide that from them. I don't know if I was being wise at that time. I just wanted to help my mom, right? And my mom called me that very day, and she said to me, "Do you know that you are a different child?" I've always known, because if you can tell me that I
Mm.
told you when I was small that don't fall me down, and I told her, I said, I know I'm a different child. I know. She said, "Daniel, thank you. You did not give that lapses," and I understand what she meant by that. Quite a number of things that I'll just
Mm.
get my salary and I just wanted to spend my mom, you know. So the motive was actually wanting to get the motive was actually wanting to get what are the what are the benefits and what are the you know disadvantages of being part of this family. My mom knew much
Mm.
more. So when I did that, I won her heart, and I was asking some questions. Has anyone in our family done this before? Has anyone done this before? Who in the family has traveled out before? Who in the family has done this before? Who in the that kind of thing. And my mom was just giving me everything I needed, because I
Mm.
seek for it. I seek for knowledge, right? So, yeah. And
Mm.
when I got
Mm.
all of these things, and I'm like, yes, I want to fly. So, I think
Yeah.
I remember one scenario like that. I thought, I mean, I went to my firstborn place. I mean, where she stay in Ogun State, and I just wanted to spend the holiday with her and all of that. Just wanted to rest and all of that. So it was this so long summer holiday. So I went there to spend some time, and at some point I study and move, and I'm like, "You are doing absolutely great." I comforted her. "You are doing so great. I respect you being the firstborn. But do you know what? I think the next upgrade of this family is actually dependent on me." Do you know what
Mm.
she did? My sister
What did
slapped
she
me.
do?
Slapped me. I was like, "What do you mean? Do you think I've not tried enough? Do you think I'm not trying every responsibility? Do you think I'm not being the consequence? Do you think I'm not trying as much as I should to be the firstborn, catering for all of you?" And I'm like, "No, you're not getting the point. The point is not being the
Mm.
firstborn, bearing all of that. I just knew that there's something different about lastborn, and I think
Mm.
that's why we are here." So I mean, I talk a lot, but then let me pause for now.
Yes, I think you have started quite well, and your journey seems quite different to the other last bonds that I have met. In terms of the fact that you'd expect last bonds to be laid back, but I think you've taken a step forward and further than most people would do. But let's just piggyback to seeing your firstborn. What are the things you saw in your firstborn that you learned? What did you learn not to do? What are the things you learned to do from your firstborn?
Oh, beautiful. So my firstborn is a female, but she's a lot, right? Because she's a lot. She's wise. She's like a man. Oh, she know is beautiful. She's informed. She's courageous. You know, having to take so many um risk to be um a medical doctor from a family, from a Hartford background family, it's a lot. That's a milestone that is unbeatable, right? She's
Mm,
courageous, right? I'm telling you, she did quite a number of things for the family. She she
mm,
she made it possible for the I mean horse after her to believe that possibility is simply just work ethics. It's what you can do. She has given that template.
mm,
She has laid that template for us to believe that yes, if I can do it, it is possible. And we saw it in her, and quite a number of amazing outcomes and amazing results from her. Yeah, so she's courageous. If I envy her courage. I said to myself sometimes that if she knows in this situation, what do you think she would have done? She don't care. She
Mm.
don't care. She don't care.
Mm.
She's very aggressive towards her goals. I'm telling you for free. She's very aggressive towards her goals.
Mm.
And if there is something I wouldn't want to, take all in from her, I think it would be the fact that she's not exposed as much as I do. She's not
Mm.
exposed as much as I do. There's something I call human capital investment, social investment, right? Where you don't just transact for business, but you transact for relationships. I feel like
Mm.
for Shino, she meaning that she's very aggressive towards her goals. So all what she wants to do strictly for business for business. She doesn't give room for. She doesn't understand human capital investment, how to hold conversation, how to invest so much in people that you earn their trust and they make you and you win their heart. So I feel like she's not so much exposed, and that's the thing for me.
Okay, well, yeah, that was a very strong one there about the things that you liked about her and the things that you think she could have improved on. Because firstborns and the people I've spoken to on this podcast have often said, okay, they're go-getters themselves, but there seems to be that lapse in terms of how to relate to people because they believe in being independent themselves. Let's go
Okay,
to your second born. Did you see your second born do anything different from what your first born did in terms of relating with you?
in terms of relating with me,
Yes.
okay, Moses. Moses is so a lot of people say Moses actually took after my father, but I don't agree. That guy is
Mm.
that guy is a lot. Right? So yeah, Moses is so for context in our family, we have this. I think maybe because of my sis, my firstborn, of course, our firstborn, she have laid that template of being courageous and being aggressive. Moses too, as the first son, also has always been courageous, has always been so, you know, audacious. It is also aggressive towards his goals, and Moses is somebody that is multipotential as my very self, and he knew right from time. He knew that he had to spread his wings, and he did that. He did it. He did it, and I saw that possibility in him. So because he's a
Mm.
writer, he's a singer, he's into business, he has a lot of gems, man. It's into a lot, right? And but if there's anything I would not really love or like from him, it's oh it's I don't want to believe that every Moses have the trait of being adamant. Yes, because if you look into the Bible, Moses at some point is like, yeah, no, no, I'm not gonna, no, 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 come on. Yeah, he's that kind of person. He's that kind of person. He will not,
Mm.
because you are the last born, he will not take you. He will never take your advice. He will not take
Mm.
your advice. I remember I advised him for something that will later define the course of his life, and he took it all wrong. As some at so I'm permitted to share quite some
Mm.
number of things, right? So
Yeah.
it was like, no, no, you can't tell me that. No, you can't. And that's actually
Mm.
brought out our conflicts. We fought. It disowned me and all of that. Let me take you back. I when I eventually lost my mom. So my mom died a day before my birthday. My mom
Mm.
died April 28th, and I celebrated my 28th birthday, April 29th, right? And I remember when she called me, Daniel, I want to be able to do all of these things I'm doing to all of those, loving moments, all of those conversations and all of that. I will not be able to do all of those things for you anymore. Just I didn't even know that he was just doing farewell. All right. So I was like, okay, no problem. Every time you're back, we always find time to talk and all that. So she left, and that birthday 29th of it was one of the best birthday ever because I received a lot of gifts. People were like, "Oh, your mom died yesterday. Oh, today's your birthday. My God, take this, take this." I wish, I wish that actually continued, but no. We thank God for we thank God for daily bread. So when I lost my parent completely, reality dawned on me, and I'm like, bro, you have to. It will pace the piper, yes. I mean, take over the tone, right? So I'm like, yo, you have to do all of these things by yourself. So now I remember one day, not because of spiritual tendencies or anything. I mean, my parents fought that battle. They killed all the monsters. My dad killed the monster. My mom tried her best, kill the monsters. So we don't really have cause of whatsoever spiritual battles, right, to deal with. So, but I remember I took a very big risk, even before my even before my brother Moses disowned me. I took a very big risk and I went to the magistrate court Ogba. I don't know if you know that Agege Ogba Road. That's Samuel Ilorin.
Yes.
I went there and
Yes.
I changed my name. So my name was Owolabi Daniel Luafemi. Then I changed it into Amoo Daniels Owolabi. So my surname now is actually my name that my mom loves calling me. You understand? So Owolabi used to be my surname, which everyone, of course, which Moses carried and all of that. So, but now I am Amoo Daniels, and I love it. I don't know what happened to me that day. I just went to all of that, and I've been all my documents, all my certifications, carries this name and all of that. So when my brother was, when we had these conflicts and all of that, he was like, I disown you, da 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 da. You cannot be, deciding for me and all of that and all of that. I'm like, with due respect, sir, before you know, I've changed my name today. So you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. So and all of that. And so for him, I would say I don't like is being adamant and not it's not welcoming. I mean, I believe Yoruba say um ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n la fi dá ilẹ̀ Ifẹ̀, right? Which is to say that young and I mean we come together to create a country, a nation, and all of that. I mean that's unanimity and all of that. But my brother would never want to accept the fact that you two can like he will never accept the fact that a donkey can speak. So yes, I will not
Okay.
take that.
Okay. So you mentioned something about your sister that you think she could have done better, which was that exposure could have been something she should have made a thing for herself. And also, investing in social capital was something that she did not quite pay attention to. And you mentioned that your brother was adamant. I hope he's not adamant as he used to be anymore. Now let's go to
No,
your sister
oh,
now.
not anymore. Wow, not anymore. I tell you, not anymore. Now, I told him, now we are very close. I don't know how. Now we're very close. Moses called me, Daniel, how fun? I just want to check up on you. I said, whoa, it's Moses, oh, bro. Ew, I mean, if you want to do anything now, you call me, Daniel, Alpha. I know you have intelligence. I know. Moses, come on, talk to me. I'm listening to you. And we are even into a project together, and I believe it's going to be it's going to be a successful one. All right? So it's now we are so close that he just want us to hang out. He just want us to be together. Guy, how far is
That's
work?
good. That's
know,
good.
yeah, I know that. Yes, we are cool.
That's good. Now to your sister, the one before you.
Oh my gosh, the love of my life, the love of my life. Oh yeah,
Tell
come
me.
on. Every family have this 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 force of connection. could be with your firstborn, could be with your lastborn. You see, myself and my sister Sarah. Oh my God, we are so come on. Maybe because we are just immediate. I don't know. But then I love her so much, and she loved me so. She, I love her so much. Funny enough, I actually dreamt about her this morning, and I called her. Alpha,
Hey.
please pray. This is what I'll pray for you. She sent me a video of her yesterday, and then I have her check this out. I'm like, come on, sure,
Ah,
come on, come
ah,
on.
ah,
This is
ah,
it.
ah.
Come on. This is come on. So she, one thing I love about her is I feel like she have this my mom's superpower, having to
Hmm.
accommodate. Sarah is different. She's a different set of human being. I kind of relate when some people say, I you are the I will never have, if I have to come back I'll choose you, or if my that is, I think I understand.
Hmm.
If I have to come back to this life to choose a sister, I'll choose her over and over again, because she is a friend. She's my friend. She's my friend. She she uncover herself to cover me so much, and that's what my mommy will do. That's what my mommy will do.
Hmm.
Sarah can spend her last penny on me
Hmm.
because she believes in me that, Daniel, I know where you are going to. And I know that you have this unconventional. She didn't take it for, for a fight, that, Daniel, there's something about you. You are the last born, even, but then there's something about you. I know, and I believe in your destination. I believe in the journey. She's ready. She has always been investing all of her penny, all of her resources on me, even before I ask.
Hmm.
Yes, even
Hmm.
before. She actually contributed for me to get my international passport. That's what my mom would do.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
I love her.
Hmm. So you see, I think I like what the points we are getting to now, because it looks like everyone before you learns from the previous person. So your brother may also have learned that your sister wasn't as exposed as she should be, or not investing in social capital, and he took up that one. Your sister, I think you like your brother more than you like your firstborn. You like your sister more than you like your
I
brother and
can't
your
deny that.
sister,
I
and
can't deny
and,
that.
and that's the thing. So, but again, in all, I see that there is a pinpoint there, and which is there has to be something that you missed out on when you were growing up. The things you look back now and say, I wish I had this. I wish I had this. What are the things you wish you had growing up as a child?
The things I wish I had. Um, the things I wish I had growing up. Okay, so
Yes.
let me say this. I'm somebody that, I mean, you did your homework very well, for me. Creative entrepreneur, utopian, someone who believes in professionality of society. I don't know how you do that, but I mean, you take your flowers, take your flowers. So, because of how I am wired, because of how I am wired, I am designed. I don't, I don't. Conventional things are not my ways. So, if there's anything I wish to have always have growing up is that parental care. I feel like, because I lost my parents quite early, and I there's something I called um, parental capital investment, where your parents pass on to you so much experiential knowledge, so much resources, so much that experiential knowledge. For fact, it's a lot that we sustain your journey, and I didn't really get that. I didn't really enjoy, because I sometimes I wish they are here, because not because of the moments to share, but because there are still some mistakes that I'm still taking, that I feel like these two guys, these parents of mine, would have put me on and leave me on. I have very beautiful, unique parents. So my dad always say that you confront rebellion with value system. That's my dad. You don't confront
mm,
rebellion with, trying to sort yourselves, trying to clear the hair, trying to, confront rebellion with system. I'll give a practical example. When I mean, there was a time in our lives where we didn't have TV. So, and then we're living in the face may slap you. And as a last,
mm,
with my sister, my my beloved, we'll go to another neighbor's house to go and watch TV. Indian, we watch Mad, we watch Tuvan. This neighbor, I mean, they invest
mm,
much time in watching TV. So they are Muslim, right? And we enjoy being in the house, even though there are many bed bugs that we have to, export into our own house and all of that. My mom would be like, I don't like this thing. You cannot just do that. How can you be so? I told you many that don't do that. Don't go there again. Uh, we cannot stop going there because, bro, there's no TV. It's uncommon. It's our beautiful time to enjoy our beautiful, young age and all of that. So, but there's no TV. There's no provision in the house. And my father, I
mm,
remember my father was like, leave them, leave them. I'm like, yeah, we should go. He said, just leave them. My father did a thing. Believe me, my father did a thing. If there's anything I would love to have, even until now,
mm,
is this guys. Is this guys. Is this guys. My father, who is into house furniture business, right? She does all of this upholstery and all of that.
mm,
He's into he's my father is into this. And I mean, he always gets contracts, he always gets many contracts and all of that. So my father just, I mean, times over time, my father will wake up early, leave the house. On the norm, my father leaves home 9 a.m., all of that. He works at Mushin. His office was then at Mushin. He will go to Mushin by 9 a.m. But because of one reason or the other, my father will leave as early as 6 to work and come back somewhere in the evening, for 3 months. My father did that. And eventually, my father brought TV to the house that fateful day. He brought TV to the house. I was even out. I think I went to play football. And that night, I came in, everyone was watching TV. I'm like, what is here? What's all this? And I remember we were watching Binta and Friends. And my father switched off the TV and he said, that was when he made a statement that you don't confront rebellion with clearing the hair or trying to, no, you confront rebellion with value system. If you are being backbeaten, if they talk of you many at times at the back, what you don't need to try to clear them or be grieving or go into depression. The same people who are talking, who are backbiting, provide a value for them that they will be like, come on, what's this? They will be marvel at your disposition, at your deployment. So when my father of the TV, he told us that I knew that there's nothing that can stop you guys from going to Yayabo to watch TV. So I know that the best thing to do is to provide television in the house. So I wake up early at 6 a.m. I go to Ikeja to get Daily Times, that is newspaper. I will sell it before going to Mushin. That was a king. That was a king. I was crying as if I was beaten. So it was a lot. So if there's anything I love to say, because I feel like I have everything. I have everything in Christ, absolutely. But if there's really something solid, is this parental investment, is this parental capital. Yes.
Okay, I think that you have grown to become someone who has developed a level of determination that wouldn't have been this thick if your parents were alive enough longer than they were to be able to provide you that care. Because there's a way you can become very independent, not to the extent to which you have become it, but because you just want to stand for yourself and show yourself a level of care. Do you think
Yeah.
that there is? Are you very? So this is quite personal. Are you a vulnerable person? Do you think you are vulnerable? Can you love somebody completely?
Can I?
Can you love someone completely?
All right. So, for context, I'm not a boring person. I'm not a boring person.
Yeah.
So I also did my homework because I checked the previous sessions and I'm like I and I saw the frequency how the conversation from Facebook from dive into relationships. So I'm here too. I know we are going here. So right, yes, I did my homework. I did my homework. Right. So I'm not a boring person. I'm not a boring person. But let me say, instead of boringness, I think I am formidable. Yes, I am formidable, and um, I have enough moral, intellectual, and wisdom quotient to sustain that. I can't enter a place and not be known. My reality, my presence is palpable. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I think I am formidable. I'm not boring. I'm formidable. I inspire fear. I inspire respect. But bringing it into relationship wise, I can love completely. I've always loved completely. This guy you are seeing here right now
Mm.
is a product of many experiences. If I should define what it means to love completely for you, I know what you're going to say is like, are you Jesus? Yeah, yes. I don't know how to.
Okay.
Yes, let's just leave it there.
Okay, because I want to be sure that now I understand the gap in terms of what you shared about the fact that you wished so much that you experienced that love and care more than you eventually did. And it's a comment that most firstborns make themselves to say, see, I became an adult when I was young. I didn't enjoy my childhood in the way that I wanted to enjoy. And I want to be sure that you are able to so now when you mentioned that you are formidable, it then makes my point even more. I want to be sure that you are vulnerable enough in terms of being vulnerable, or it takes you a while to become vulnerable. First, do you have a girlfriend?
Okay, so, oh my God, even though I don't like talking about, I'll do the favor of talking about relationships. So presently, I'm not in a relationship, but
Yes. You're not in a relationship at the moment, and I'm not going to dig into that some more. But I'm only going to say that in your previous relationships, would you say that you struggled to be as vulnerable as you should have been, or once the lady misbehaves in a way, you just snap out of it? So yes, talk to me.
okay, so so I'm not going to uh, truth. Speaking the truth is a virtue, right? So
Hmm.
for I'm not going to hide words, right? So I'm going to say that I don't think I was that vulnerable. I don't think I was that vulnerable. I don't think I was that vulnerable because you know quite a number of times. I remember my last relationship. There are times that we talked about vulnerability, how to be so humane, how to be so not that you're weak, but you're open-minded and all of that. And I I really did not see myself being because I have been I don't know maybe because of my I don't want to I don't want to believe it's trauma, right? So but then I maybe it's traumatic experience or traumatic consequence rather. I don't know how to be too vulnerable because I somehow believe too much vulnerability exposes weakness, and when weakness is exposed, there's definitely, you know what I mean. So I feel like I was not vulnerable enough. Yeah, I was not vulnerable enough.
Okay, cool. Yes. Now we are touching on something because I can already connect the dots to that to say there was a gap here and it may appear in other parts of your life. In terms of not being vulnerable enough, not loving somebody totally because you have built yourself given the time that you have been on ground. Now, if there's something that you could change, or if something, is that something you're working on of yourself now? That you say that I'm working on this thing, and I can connect it to the fact that because I was the last born, and because of my experience, that's why there was this gap. Is this something you're working on yourself at the moment?
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, it's something I'm actually working on so much. I'm not in any relationship right now, but I my my understanding my understanding about being vulnerable was actually tampered with in my previous relationship, not this one. I think the one before this last one, because I put it all in, and guess what? I was not even loving for her alone. I was loving for God, and that's why I said when I say that's why I say when I love him completely, you think it's Jesus you are speaking to, because I was not loving with my head alone. I was loving with my spirit. And then this idea, this perspective, this approach now became a mandate that I believe that God actually wants me to be here. You understand? You know the story of Haggai. Is he Haggai? Is he Haggai
Mm.
and the prostitute that was commanded to marry the prostitute, right? It's Haggai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I believe
I
so.
have a similar story. I have a similar story to that because
Mm.
I was not I was not ready to back out from that relationship, because it was never me into it. It was now me and God into it. I will hear God speaking to me, don't go. And I'm like, should I come and die? And like, you still have to stay. You understand? So I feel like in a way actually affected the next relationship and all of that, because now I have an understanding that you cannot just put all eggs in the basket, right? And
Mm.
but now I'm saying it. So now, like I said, I'm working on it, and this is my orientation. This is my idea now. I will always give room for benefit of doubt, right? I give graces. I give graces.
Mm.
I give graces because as an utopian who believe in the perfectibility of human society, so you just have to give graces. We are not wired the same. You just have to give grace for the benefit of doubt. You have to just understand that human being, human being uniqueness lie in their weaknesses. Yes. So I'm working on it.
Okay. If you were to pick a wife, what are the features of a wife? Just to be clear, what are the features of a wife that would be yours? Yeah, tell me. Talk to me.
Oh my god. I was thinking I was I was thinking this will be 95% podcast in the range. I mean, come on, relationship, my God. Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, thank you for this. I mean, I feel like it's just what makes this podcast very fascinating, very unique, very different. All right, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, and I love the frequency, right? So the features.
Mm.
So all right, so I guess so many questions. I have female friends more than male friends. I'm telling you, I have female friends
Mm.
more than. I don't know if that is same for you, because I am not And I say this with all chest, with my full chest rather. I am not promiscuous. I am rather chivalrous. I treat ladies gallantly. You understand? And
mm,
because of that,
mm,
I am not promiscuous. I'm chivalrous, right? So I get many responses. I get many people saying to me that after our relationship, I have a lady who is as confident as
mm,
as Peter. He said, "Come on now, don't you see me
mm,
completely? Don't you think we can have a relationship together?" I'm like, "Bro, no, it's not what you think." So for me, their
mm,
features, it's just they see every other features. Yes, of course, physique is there, intellectual capacity is there, you know, virtues are there, and all of that. But one of the things that actually can catch my attention is because I'll give you this example.
mm,
I have I have dated divers of beautiful ladies. Because of my work,
mm,
I am open to beautiful ladies. And when I say beautiful, I don't just mean the facial expression, the facial, I don't just mean the body, I don't just mean the stature, I don't just mean the physique. I mean beautiful in and out. The intellectual capacity is there, the adversity quotient is there, how they can withstand, you
mm,
know, everything is there. They are completely beautiful ladies. Updated, ambitious
mm,
lady, um, updated spirituality, updated, quite a number of them.
mm,
One thing I can say is that at this point of my life, I think a lady that Amoo Daniels we ever want to marry is not just a lady with all of these benefits or all of these traits, is simply a lady with a large heart. If you have a large heart as a lady, I am
mm,
not a responsible man. I will explain. I am not a responsible man. I
mm,
am a purposeful man. So I used to say that
mm,
a responsible man is expected to marry a responsible lady. How? If you're responsible as a man, maybe you're not really called into an assignment per se. You're responsible, you have a good job, you have a good family, you have, social capital investment, you're just good and you're kind and you have everything, all figured out as a responsible guy. You need to marry a responsible woman who is also
mm,
have the same thing as you, who is responsible, who is godly, who is have every other traits that we want, every other features. But you see, purposeful man does not necessarily have to marry a responsible. You need to marry your wife because if a purposeful man have to marry a responsible man, responsibility is understatement. I'm telling you, a purposeful man must marry your wife. That is a customized woman for you. If I am responsible, I would have maybe I would have given birth to two kids now. I'm telling you. Because I am surrounded with responsible ladies who know what they are doing. When it comes to business, they are savvy. When it comes to career, I mean, they are strategic, they are structural. When it comes to creativity, my God, they are mind blowing, they are remarkable. But I found out that you, as a purposeful man, you need to marry your wife. Your wife then extends the bar of being responsible, extends the bar of responsibility. She's now somebody that is actually, before you met her, I've also been prepared for your kind of assignment, for your kind of person, for your kind of your high and lows. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I just want to marry, aside from every other benefits, I mean every other features, right? Someone that has a large heart. Tunde Onokoya, when he was asked about the same question, he said, "What are the features and all of that?" He said, I've not dived into any relationship before, but now if I even want to marry, I have like five adopted kids already. Imagine Tunde Onokoya having five adopted kids, which means that if you're coming to my life, you must first accept this body. So then it is no longer about how you are ambitious. It's no longer about how you have succeeded. It's no longer about how you have done quite a number of beautiful outcomes and all of that. But it is now about reimagination and recalibration of mental system. you need to have a large heart enough to know that this is not just about Amoo Daniels alone. I am not for one person. I am for humanity. My design, my project, my products are always for humanity. So if any other woman is coming to partner with me on this journey, do you have a large heart? I will I have a very not so good travel itinerary. I travel a lot. I go to places a lot. I don't. Are you ready to bear the consequence? Are you ready to, because I get so many invites so much. So it is not about you having to be responsible alone. I mean, there are good girls. There are good girls with the fear of God, with moral standards. But then it's not just enough to be responsible. You need to marry your wife. You need to marry if you're Adam, you need to marry Eve. If you cannot marry Sarah, right? Because Sarah would not fit into the assignment. All right. So Abraham cannot marry Eve. Eve to Abraham is something else. You understand? So Adam needs to marry somebody that will tender the garden with him, and Sarah needs to marry somebody that will bear the consequence of giving birth to a nation with Abraham. So it is just you having to marry your wife, not just a responsible woman. So a woman with a large heart, in summary, a woman with a large heart, which I believe that God is actually working out for me, because it's not just about having to be discerning or just to be, tactic about it. I see that I think this one has something that this one does not have. It's not about that. I have a quite number of them, beautiful ladies, inside out. It's just that wife. And I mean, you're going to say amen to that.
Cool. I heard all you said with regards to you being a purposeful man, not a responsible man. And the explanation you gave to it even made it more meaningful in terms of the fact that when you are a man of assignments, you only need a round peg to accommodate your round hole, a square peg to accommodate your square hole. Adam can only marry Eve. Abraham can only marry Sarah because of the assignment that is on ground. I was thinking about it some days ago, and I said something loud that even after saying it, I went to think about what I said. That it is the assignment that determines the tool. In other words, if you want to peel yam, you don't use a sword. If you want to
Correct.
go and fight,
Correct.
you don't use a knife, you use the sword. And I was saying it to a group of people, I believe, some time back. I said that in the olden days, kings don't choose wives for their princes because of beauty. They choose wives for their princes because of the assignments, because of the kingdom. The kingdom is more valuable than whatever it is. And so I think it's important that we most people get to, especially those who know that upon their life rests the destiny of more than two persons. And it was important, I mean, good that you mentioned what you said there.
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
ask you one final question,
All right.
which is very important. If you're going to speak, because you said so much there, I must thank you for being quite vulnerable. I hope when you listen to this yourself, you would realize that you said some things that is a way of sharing of some stuff you have in mind. You mentioned about your girlfriend and the one before the last who made you even toughen up some more, that the previous one did not enjoy, the most recent one did not enjoy the best version of you because of what you have gone through before. If you're
Yeah.
going to speak to the Amoo Daniels of many years ago, 10 years of age, what's the advice you would give him now that you know better? The things you will tell him to do, start doing from that time, the things you will ask him to watch out for, and what kind of man would you speak to him to eventually become? Yes, so take us back many years, 10 years. What would you say to your 10-year-old Daniel?
All right. Then Amoo Daniels, young Amoo Daniels, listen to me. This is what you have to do. You don't have to be every places at every time. There's some places that you don't have to go to. All in the name of validation. appraiser, understand that criticism is a form of data collection. Criticism is not, in its right appearance, in its first appearance, negative response, right? Criticism is also an element of adjustment. You should know that you cannot be accepted everywhere. You should know that you should allow people to live their best life around you, right? You should know how to balance the equation of judging book by its cover and also not judging book by its cover. You should understand that there's really a lot more when you invest in human, when you understand the human capital investment, when you understand so much about people. You should understand that people are wired, sometimes people are wired from their past experiences, so you should give room for graces, right? So, and more importantly, I would say, relationship wise, love everybody. Love everybody not because of what you want to get from them. Love everybody because it's your nature, right? And then just live your best life. Yeah. Well, I'd like to add
Okay.
one thing, if you don't mind.
Okay, yes. Talk to me.
Yes. So, I said it earlier before the session, for this conversation, that I'm not an activist of last born. I'm an advocate. I'm not campaigning. I am pleading. Last born is not the end of story. Last born, to me, I define last born to be the final upgrade to elevate, the final upgrade to define a resolution, which means that if you are born into a family that represents wealth, and father is okay, mother is okay, the firstborn, they pass on the baton into the firstborn, the secondborn. You are the next definition of another level. You are the next definition of another, whatsoever your family represents. It could be wisdom, it could be spiritual capacity, it could be spiritual investment. If your father or your mother, if your family are into so much into ministry, you are the next, you are the next definition, you are the next upgrade to inspire, to take up that baton, not just as accepting that you have the right to privileges, you have the right to benefits, you are supposed to be yes, come to live and all of that. No, I define last born to be final upgrade, not just end of story. It's the final upgrade for another level, for a family tree or a family reputation. So yes, that's last born for me.
Thank you so much, Amoo Daniels, for all you have said. And it's also good to note that you are the only one bearing that name upon the face of the
Whoosh,
earth because you changed your
whoosh,
surname already.
whoosh.
You changed your name
I
already,
like
but
it.
you're starting a new thing. And I'm aware that given the things you've shared today, you are also beginning to realize that you have studied those ahead of you and the gaps that you observed about your sister not being exposed, not invested in social capital, your brother being obstinate, being stern, you may not want to adjust, but thank God he's improving. The sister showing you the kind of love that you would have always wanted. And that you mentioned how that you love completely. You're not a boring person. You're formidable, and that the lady you experienced somebody who almost altered the perspective of love, such that the person, the most recent of the ladies you dated, did not experience the best version of you, and that speaks to the fact that the next person after the lady before now would experience a different version, a more developed, a more vulnerable,
Yeah,
one who understands his purpose even more and you will do really great things. I must appreciate you for joining the podcast, and I
thank
must say that it was a refreshing one. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. If you're watching this podcast now, let us know what you think in the comments. If there are questions you want to ask him that we didn't quite cover, you want to let me know in the comments, and I would ask him to send a note to answer that particular question. Thank you, Amor, and this one more time.
you. Sure. Thank you.